Prison reform activist Yusef Salaam of the Exonerated Five and National Book Award finalist Ibi Zoboi are out with a new book called Punching the Air. The novel is about a 16-year-old boy named Amal who is convicted of a crime he didn't commit, and he's sent to prison as a result. A story about one teenager's fight for the truth. Joining us now are the co-authors of that book, Yusef Salaam and Ibi Zoboi. Great to have both of you guys here with us. Yusef, let's start with you. How does this story maybe reflect your own? How you didn't give up on your hope and you really didn't accept defeat here?
This story reflects my own in that we're talking about the juxtaposition of the criminal justice system in America, where you have one law and one side that is afforded every opportunity under the sun. And then if you're born with the skin color like mine, you have to fight for your innocence because you're seen as guilty until proven innocent.
And Ibi, let's talk about this book and the fact that despair and rage almost really sink the character Amal in this book, and he turns to art to really help himself out here. What's the power of art in this story?
Well, art is both liberating and empowering. It is redemptive. So in this case, he needs his art to make his way to the next day. I was inspired by Yusef's artwork. Yusef was an artist and poet at 16 when he was sent to prison for a crime that he did not commit. So Amal as a character is inspired by Yusef as a person, and art basically saves his life while he's incarcerated.
And Ibi, how did you and Yusef get together to create this?
We actually met in college about 21 years ago.
Wow.
In New York City's Hunter College. Yeah, and I was the editor of the newspaper at the time, of my college's newspaper. And when I remembered who he is, because I grew up in New York City and remember the Central Park 5 jogger case very well, I went after him looking for an interview. And unfortunately, what I'm finding out is that he was not ready to tell his story. But I ran into him 3 years ago, and he was definitely ready to tell a story that is inspired by the events in his life at 16.
And Yusef, in the bio for the book, it says, boys just being boys. Turns out to be true if only those boys really are white in this case. Is that how you felt as well, that essentially you basically grew up and you were looked at to be in prison?
Absolutely. Punching the Air gives us a clear indication of what it's like to navigate the criminal justice system, a system that I call the criminal system of injustice in America. You know, you don't get the opportunity to be seen as a child growing up. And I think that that's one of the things that we wanted to show. You know, this is a child, this is a person, this is someone who should be seen as a boy doing things that boys would do.
And Ibi, HarperCollins is actually partnering with a bunch of nonprofit organizations. That includes the Campaign for Fair Sentencing of Youth, all to donate copies of this across the country. Talk about that partnership and why this is so important.
So this was our very first and most important ask. Or else, what's the point if this novel that we are writing doesn't get to the readers who could use it most? So hardcover copies can't make their way into the jail and the prison system. So HarperCollins made a special edition that is actually paperback, and they will be donating it to incarcerated youth across the country, and we are so grateful for that.
The other thing I think that's really cool in all of this, Yusef, is the actor who played you in the amazing Netflix series When They See Us is actually doing the audiobook, the narration for all of this as well. Just how cool is that to sort of have your world sort of come full circle here?
I tell you, that probably is one of the most amazing things about this story, Punching the Air, getting the person who portrayed me as a young actor to tell this story with his voice. Just amazing. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
And Ibi, I want to talk and bring this to what our culture looks like today. Obviously, we're dealing with racial injustice at a level we've never publicly seen ever before. What advice do you have for those right now who are going through this moment right now?
Well, Amal in Punching the Air is a perfect example of what you can do when you feel hopeless. Amal is incarcerated. He's trapped by four walls, but what he does is turn inward. finds his passion, pulls from his art to say something to the world. So while he may not have access to the outside world, art is liberating for him and liberating for those who are experiencing it. For those who don't know what to say, turn inward and create something new, create something that wasn't there before. And that could be immensely powerful.
I love it. And Yusef, I'm going to give you the final word here. What advice do you have for young people right now who are advocating for change? What advice do you have for them right now?
One of the best things that punching the air does for young people especially is that it provides the water to grow the seed of greatness inside of them, to let them know that they are born on purpose and with a purpose, and that they are supposed to be here, that they are not a mistake. And I think that as you begin to see yourself psychosocially in society mattering, you add to the greater good as opposed to take from it. You are the future, and the future is alive and well because of you. Punching the air will speak to that and give them all the tools that they need.
Well, congratulations to you both on the book. I'm so happy we're having this conversation. Yusef Salaam and Ibi Zoboi, co-authors of Punching the Air, the book on sale September the 1st. That's tomorrow.